They're super soldiers running loose.
Great. I got a vibranium arm. I can take them.
Hello, girl, kick your ass.
Let me hear you.
Our country is vulnerable. We need new heroes.
Let me hear you.
Get in.
That's not happening.
Hear you.
Why didn't you use the metal arm?
I don't always think of it immediately. I'm right-handed.
Let me hear you.
It's been a long journey. There's always going to be a darker side to this character. But at the same time, it feels like this is the first time he's finally free to kind of look after himself. But it's not easy. He's just trying to kind of do his best.
I got a vibranium arm. I can take them.
You dropped something. Wondering when you were going to show up.
Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 4 trailer video and Black Panther breakdown. Bet you did not see that cameo scene coming. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. Obviously, there's so much to talk about, including what's going on with the Black Panther characters during the events of Falcon and Winter Soldier right after Avengers Endgame. So if you're brand new to the channel, I'm doing videos for all the episodes. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. I'll be doing videos for all the Marvel Disney Plus series this year. Loki is going to be the next big one. They're even doing a Black Panther spin-off series on Disney Plus, so I'm wondering if this is also going to help set that up as well. I'll explain what's going on with that later in the video too. Seems like pretty much every Marvel character is getting a Disney Plus series nowadays. But careful for spoilers for everything that's happened on Falcon and Winter Soldier in all the Marvel Disney Plus series so far, like Wandavision, the Marvel Phase 4 stuff. But in the teaser for Episode 4, Florence Kasumba's Ayo character shows up in secret to contact Bucky, letting him know that Black Panther has ordered that he bring Zemo back to Wakanda. And it's not meant to be a polite request. Like, she's not there to ask him a favor. Like, hey, T'Challa is asking me to ask you, will you please hand Zemo over to us? That'd be really nice if you did that. Remember how we're best buds now because you spent all that time in Wakanda, White Wolf? It does seem like they have a little bit of history together. I'll talk about that too during the video. But obviously, the big implication here is Zemo, Black Panther, the Dora Milaje, because she's Dora Milaje, and what's happening on Falcon and Winter Soldier right now. I just thought it was interesting when he recognized her Cameo beads, that he recognized it was her specifically and not just, say, Wakanda in general showing up. Like, he didn't say, I was wondering when Wakanda was going to show up. He said, I was wondering when you were going to show up. Like, he expected her specifically to show up when he helped Zemo break out of prison. But just backing up a second, first things first, at this point in the timeline, if it wasn't clear, Black Panther himself, T'Challa, is still alive after the events of Avengers Endgame. It's only been a couple months after Avengers Endgame right now when the series is taking place. Everyone share a moment of silence for Chadwick Boseman, though. May he rest in power. Kevin Feige already explained how they're going to handle his passing with the next Black Panther 2 movie that Ryan Coogler's working on right now. That movie's going to be coming out next year. They're going to start filming it sometime this summer, I believe. He said in his big presentation they're not going to recast the role of T'Challa. It will always be Chadwick Boseman, but eventually they will pass the mantle of Black Panther like they've done in the comics. It's implied that it'll happen during Black Panther 2 at some point. I've already done a video for that big Black Panther 2 teaser they released earlier this year, so I'll post a link for that at the end of this video and in the description, with all the details on the new story for that movie, how they're changing things just to address Chadwick Boseman's passing. But they won't actually get into what happens with T'Challa next in the MCU during Marvel Phase 4 until the events of Black Panther 2. And because that movie won't take place until next year, later in the timeline, all this stuff on Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, the earlier Marvel Phase 4 movies like Spider-Man 3, No Way Home, even Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, all this stuff takes place before T'Challa theoretically passes on to the ancestral plane. However, Marvel is going to actually address T'Challa dying in the MCU. A lot of what's happening with the Black Panther, Falcon and Winter Soldier crossover story, also about the events of Captain America Civil War. And what a coincidence, during that movie, it's very timely that Black Panther said, "Death is not the end for my people. It's more of a jumping off point." He was talking about a higher cosmic existence in the ancestral plane. They really didn't get into that too much during the Black Panther movie. They just show you the ancestral plane, like they show you that T'Chaka's spirit is still alive in the ancestral plane, and using the heart-shaped herb, T'Challa was able to visit that place briefly. So just think about that when you're thinking about what happens with the T'Challa character in the MCU. There's ways to bring him back without having to do a Carrie Fisher Force Awakens situation, which Marvel said that it will not do. Like, they've already confirmed we're not going to do a deep fake version of Chadwick Boseman on screen. Either way, T'Challa Black Panther is still alive right now when this scene is happening, and he would have been the one to send Ayo the Dora Milaje to collect Baron Zemo and bring him back to Wakanda to face their judgment for killing King T'Chaka during Civil War. So quick refresher if you don't remember exactly how that went down. Baron Zemo's whole plot to split up the Avengers hinged on framing Bucky for the death of T'Chaka. He made it look like the bomb was planted by him, then the next step was to use the Hydra commands to force him to escape and go on a rampage, taking out most of the Avengers, and including Black Panther, knowing that Captain America, his friend, Bucky's friend, would try to stop them from retaliating. In that, coupled with the revelation that Captain America had hidden the truth from Iron Man about Bucky killing his parents all this time, that'd be enough to destroy the team, metaphorically. And it was successful, at least for a little while. Funny how giant purple space Hitler, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, will bring everyone together, make them set their differences aside. But when Black Panther learned the truth about what Zemo had done, he threw him back in prison instead of revenge killing him. That was the whole message at the end of the film. Like, revenge will not solve this problem. It will not make me feel better. He was trying to do things by the book, so to speak, but now, of course, Zemo has escaped prison, escaped judgment, and is waltzing around the world free and clear because he's a baller, apparently. He did say he was royalty, an actual Baron, that's why they call him Baron Zemo in the MCU, until he says the Avengers destroyed his country. And apparently that's where Black Panther draws the line, like, we were willing to let you rot in their prison. Now that you're not doing that, you're running around the world escaping judgment, you have to come back to Wakanda. If there's anyone that could devise an inescapable prison, it would definitely be the Wakandans. Zemo kind of referenced Wakandan prison when Winter Soldier came to see him. He said, at least you were not conscious for your imprisonment, talking about Bucky being put in cryo storage in Wakanda when Shuri was deprogramming him. Technically, that was not meant to be prison. That was meant to be a mercy for him, just to prevent him from doing anything that he didn't want to do. So the whole conflict now that they're teasing this drama between Falcon and Winter Soldier and Black Panther, Wakanda, the Dora Milaje, Ayo, is that they can't let them take Zemo because they need him to stop the Flag Smashers from using the rest of their super soldier serum they stole. There are 12 vials left. The other thing they're teasing here, though, is that Winter Soldier knows Ayo a little better than he's letting on, like he maybe got to know her during his time in Wakanda, the other Dora Milaje, I'm sure, too. As if they're friends somehow, or they have some history together that weaves through the time between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. Bucky was snapped, so he wouldn't have been hanging out with any of them during that 5-year time jump. But the way the children in that Black Panther post-credit scene talk about him, like the White Wolf, like they're really enamored with him or fascinated by him, seems like he developed his own little fan base while he was there. Like there's some whole story about his time in Wakanda that they just haven't got to yet. One of my favorite Black Panther Winter Soldier jokes, too, from the earlier episodes was when Falcon was teasing him about being White Panther. Like, oh, you come out of Wakanda feeling like White Panther, but then Bucky corrects him and says, no, it's White Wolf. Like, he didn't know that Bucky got a cool Wakanda name. Like, oh, I want a cool Wakanda name, too. So I'm assuming during episode 4, when Ayo's around a little bit more for more scenes, they'll hint at more of his time in Wakanda that they haven't got into yet. I don't know if she's only going to be here for episode 4 or if she's going to come back after that in more episodes. They tease like a real big tearjerker cameo scene during episode 5, and a lot of people are like, does that mean that Chadwick Boseman is actually going to cameo on Falcon and Winter Soldier? I'm not expecting that just because when they were filming Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes was when Chadwick Boseman's cancer had gotten really, really bad, so I don't think he would have been able to actually film episodes for that. I think it's more likely that they're going to do some flashback scenes for Isaiah Bradley's version of Captain America back in the 1950s during the Korean War. Notice when they introduce his character, Carl Lumley is actually in old age makeup. They made him look way older than he actually is because he's not that old in real life. So I think because it's so easy for Marvel to de-age characters, like they de-aged Robert Downey Jr. back during Captain America Civil War, and they've gotten better since then, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, they just did the same thing with Mark Hamill on The Mandalorian for the big Luke Skywalker cameo scene. So I think it'd be really easy for them to de-age Carl Lumley just a little bit and do a big flashback to actually showing him as Captain America back in the 1950s, or a version of Captain America. And the whole tearjerker part of it that they're teasing will just be showing you what actually happened to him after all that went down, the terrible things that the government did to him. They teased that he wrecked Winter Soldier, something fierce, during their big fight, so I'm hoping that that's the scene that they show him just beating the crap and ripping half of his arm off. But like I said, I'm also kind of hoping that they have this Black Panther crossover storyline here to tease some of the new Black Panther spin-off series for Disney+. So if you didn't see it earlier this year, they announced that Ryan Coogler signed this bigger deal with Disney and Marvel to develop TV series on the sly for Disney+, in addition to doing more Black Panther sequels. The way they called it is that it would be something like a World of Wakanda series with the major characters from the Black Panther movies. They didn't say exactly what the story would be, but you have to imagine that this is just getting into that. The idea that Wakanda, the Dora Milaje, their forces are very active around the world, they just haven't fully paid that off in the MCU yet. Like at the end of the Black Panther movie, you have him buying all those buildings, setting up the resource centers all over the world. They haven't really followed up on that since the events of the Black Panther film a couple years ago. I'm also assuming that the Black Panther Disney Plus series, whatever that winds up being, will also feature the next version of Black Panther, whoever they wind up passing the mantle to. Whether they go the comic book route and pass the mantle to Shuri, because she's the next in line for succession to take the throne of Wakanda, or if they go the multiverse route and bring back Michael B. Jordan as the Killmonger of an alternate universe who just grew up differently, became a hero, and then took the mantle of Black Panther in his universe. Michael B. Jordan did say that he would love to come back for Black Panther 2, so there is a way that could wind up happening, but Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler haven't really responded to questions about that. But everyone, post your Black Panther crossover theories in the comments below. What do you think is going to be happening with them coming for Zemo? And if there are any other big questions or Easter eggs that you want me to do videos for, just let me know in the comments below. I'm still a little behind on videos. I have a new Godzilla vs. Kong Easter egg video that I'll try to post next. While you wait for everything, click here for that Black Panther 2 teaser that Marvel released, and click here for my full Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 3 video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.